Here's the one you were really thinking you were going to get. Here's the point that you were really looking forward to. Money. The whole principle that you've come to DSI and this university is probably trying to figure out how to make more money. And I don't blame you for it. But I want to just lay down a foundational principle and premise here, which is that money is something that you receive as a reflection of the value that you bring to the marketplace. It's value compensation. We know this. Whether it's a product or a service, the value that you provide to the universe, in the world, in the marketplace, and your patients is going to be reflected by the income that you earn. Isn't it safe to say that being able to physically show up and have the energy to do a good job, to have the range of motion, not be crippled by arthritis or bad posture when sitting in the chair, that makes you more valuable? Isn't it safe to say that having figured out how to connect with people and have good interpersonal relationships is not more valuable to people? Because, of course, it's people that buy your product. Isn't it also safe to say that the quality of your attention, the foundational point, is also not directly correlated to the experience that those have being with you? The quality of your presence is directly correlated to the money you will make. The biggest myth for us as entrepreneurs is, well, there's many of them, but one of the biggest, if not the, in my experience, is the idea that we need to be doing a lot of different things at the same time in order to be successful. Now, we know, and the research only belatedly is showing, that the more distracted you are, the lower the quality of your work. We mistake volume for quality. We mistake physical presence for emotional presence. That's just not the case. All of these foundational pieces are the ones that set the table for you to be able to do good work and make good money. Knowing how to have the hard conversation with your accountant or your bookkeeper or your practice manager about why we need to get our margins dialed in is a function of the training that you are going through every day. This blade that you're sharpening in your morning or daily practice. The quality of your attention, same thing. You are attentive with a good mindfulness practice to everything that's going on inside of this giant multi-noded organism that you call your business, driven by, with, and from people. In the Currency of Business module, which you may or may not have seen by now, I make the point that people are the transfer mechanism of every trade and every piece of trade in the marketplace. Money is what you get for being good at it. So, what does this boil down to? Every day you feel like I took care of the money thing. I checked the money box by showing up at my clinic or showing up to visit my accountant or what have you. That's not the case. The point here is that we're putting inputs in and knowing that certain outcomes will come of them, or a limited range of positive possibilities will emerge, or probabilities will emerge as outcomes. That's what we're trying to do, control the future. It's not a fool's game if you pay attention to just what you do instead of what everyone else does, which is what we do, put ourselves at the whim of everyone else's stuff. Four Futures is built around the idea that you have control, that you do control actively every day those things over which you have control. That's all you have. Every day, you are going to check a box of a seed that you have planted for your business's improvement and growth. This can look like a dozen different things. It may be that your goal is 90 days from now to hit a revenue figure of X amount. That is going to require a Y number of daily production. That daily production can in turn be broken down to a number of root canals or certain procedures or volume of hygiene work and so on and so forth. Breaking that number down, you will find that more often than not, a 10 to 15% growth in revenue is just $34 to $85 away, in my experience, $34 to $85 per hour away from. That's where that's how far away you are. $34 to $85 an hour. That's easy to generate on an hourly basis because, like the 4 futures, we've taken the complicated and shrunk it down to the simple. So each day in your morning huddle, you look around and say, how can we generate an extra $85 per hour? Pam, who apparently I lean on a lot for this series, Pam is going to start looking for more hygiene opportunities. Jill is going to start incorporating Procedure X into her work every day. Super simple. This is very, very easy to achieve. 10 to 15% growth broken down to an hourly rate. So every day of the week that you're in the clinic, that's one measure of it. You could say, did we find a way or did we enact that particular thing? Did I put it into the collective consciousness of the team? Another might be exposure of your practice. Each day I'm going to do one thing that increases my visibility to the marketplace in my marketing and advertising. Each day, I'm going to visit my financial dashboard of my practice and see what needs to be given attention to. Each day, I'm going to make sure that my profit first system is running well, or that I am up to date with paying my vendors. What about on the weekends when everybody wants to slacken off? I understand it. But if you're anything like me, with multiple businesses over many years, it's very hard for me to turn those demons off of things that need to be done. All I do is check my boxes. Is there one thing I've done to plant the seed of either strengthening, growing, or enhancing my business today? That could be reaching out to a business partner and sharing a thought. It might be me double-checking my personal finances, reassessing an asset allocation of investment portfolio, any one of these things. You probably think that it's easier for you to relax if you don't think about these things. In my experience, that's not the case. You're just choosing not to think about it, and you associate that with being relaxed because the thought of it is too enormous. This is why we break it down to small, daily, actionable inputs. It'll free you from the brain damage of that endless to-do list, and you will have measurable progress right away. With that simple concept explained about money, we're going to move next to how it is that you will know whether or not you're on top of your future with small, daily, measurable actions. And that's next.